Hey everybody out there on the interwebs who loves miniatures. I'm Doc Eon. I'm welcoming you to Monday the 9th of May 2022, where it's time for me to ramble about miniatures. And I have completed a bunch of minis. Only the human minis this week. None of the big monsters. And the reason for that is that I've been busy at work. I'm in a phase now where we're coming to the close of the semester. There's 5 weeks left, and I have a lot of tests to grade and feedback to give. So it's cutting into my free time. But, you know, that's one of the issues of the teaching job, but it has its perks as well. So, I painted up these four ladies from Hassle Free, 3 of which are the same model with different heads and hands. One is kind of a punk rebel. One is holding up her hand in some sort of gesture. I decided, because I picked a base for her with skulls on it, saying she's a necromancer, she's going to raise them from the dead. And here's a lady with her little handkerchief blowing in the wind. I maybe positioned the hand incorrectly there. I think it's supposed to be so that the handkerchief is hanging straight down, but this way it looks like there's some wind. Maybe it's blowing, so that's fine. Then we have this lady. I decided to have fun and paint her an odd combination of pale pink hair and darker skin, and then a sort of black and red dress. And then we have this guy who's supposed to represent my character in Warhammer. He has just a padded jack on and otherwise very fancy Renaissance style armor, and he has a buckler and a mace. In the back we have the Reaper Bones henchwomen that I painted up. They turned out less colorful than the henchmen, but that's just a function of which random paints I grabbed. And but I think they turned out fine. Yeah, you will catch a look at them closer up in the still pics at the end. Let's move on to the works in progress. So to lead off this cavalcade of work in progress, we have all these unfinished super large minis. The giant, you might notice I've put a few more layers of paint on. I've started painting the underside of this undersea beholder. I've undercoated the bases for these two guys, and they have in turn simply been primed. And the primer layer shows that the gap filling on the flipper on the legs of this guy was even less perfect than I thought. There's clear gaps. I'm not sure if I'm going to put more putty in there or if I'm just going to count on dark paint to disguise it. We'll see. But yeah, this is what they look like. All these undersea creatures on flying stands are going to be a bear to paint, but well, they're somewhat interesting, so I'm going to get through it. And here's the new stuff you haven't seen before, primed and with some undercoats. The Sawagin, the Marrows, and the undersea goblins. Now, as mentioned, I'm planning on bringing these to the game store tonight to finish up at least some of them. They are much less prepared than some other figures I've brought there, so I might not get as much done as previous Mondays. And of course I can't bring all of them because the ones that are really large don't fit in my carrying case. It's going to be these goblins and maybe a couple of maybe these two are small enough to fit in those foam inserts in my carrying case. I don't think this guy will fit, or this one. They're kind of but 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, or 8. That'll be enough for me to work on. Yeah. So that is a lot of stuff that is not very far along. And yeah, as mentioned, I'm still pretty busy at work, so we'll see as I'll, yeah. I'm going to have to pace myself a bit the coming weeks. Now, because of the huge backlog I have, well, not huge, but the backlog is mainly composed of huge minis, or rather large minis, and it is a lot to paint. So I don't need to add a whole lot of new projects, but like I mentioned, they're mostly large, so I need some medium-sized figures, some normal-sized figures that I can pack in my bag and bring to the game store painting evenings. So out of the options from Bones 5, I picked out the Dragonfold. This is a small pack of, I think it's 6, well, Dragonborn in Dungeons and Dragons terms. And yeah, I thought they might be fun to paint up. A little more variety. Instead of, I won't have to paint the human flesh tones this time. Just go dragon scales and armor and clothing. Interesting. But I would like to show you something else that I've purchased. I recently reminded myself that my favorite online retailer within Sweden that I often buy stuff from, mostly role-playing games, also has a large variety of different paint ranges that I've never tried. So I bought a few paints from a lot of different ranges. Some of them have been recommended to me by various videos on YouTube. Mostly these, the Pro Acryl paints from a company called Monument Hobbies. And with most of these, I've tried to buy at least one dark and one light color so I can test them out. In this case, I got 3, a very dark brown, a medium orange, and a very light ivory. So I want to give those a spin. The other paint that I see recommended a lot is this one, Chimera Colors, which are pure pigment acrylics. And the idea is that each paint only contains one pigment. They're not mixed in any way. And they are supposedly really high quality. They're made by Pegaso Models in Italy. So again, I got a very dark red and a somewhat lighter yellow. These are called Red Oxide and Cold Yellow. So I'm excited to give those a shot. A company that I've known of for some time, but I haven't actually used much. I've used some of their mediums, is AK Interactive. So I got a deep green and an ivory from them. These are the 3rd generation formula, whatever that means. So we'll see what these do. And then I found that these have a the store in question had a range that I'd never heard of before, but it looked interesting. It's called Instar. Instar had different ranges. The one with basic paints is called the Alpha range. So I got the pure magenta and pure oxide yellow. So again, I'm assuming this is the idea, just based on the name, I assume it's somewhat like the Chimera. They're supposedly just single pigment paints. I don't know. We'll have to give them a test run and see what they do. I mean, it's not like I lack paints, but oh well. Oh, and you might see I picked up this. This is paint agitators. These are a new. I've tried metal agitators, which always tend to rust, even if they're stainless steel. And then there's glass agitators, which do not rust, but are not as heavy. These are ceramic and they feel like they're really heavy, almost like metal. So I don't know if there's a metal core in them or something. I don't know if these are pure ceramics. But, well, we'll see. They certainly won't rust anyway. And that was everything I had to show you this week. I hope you liked it. I hope you stayed till the end. If so, please give me a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. But above all, be back here next week. Same day of the week, same channel, same Dakian. But for now, I am signing off.